Imagine this. You invest billions upon billions into a bold vision for the future, rallying your teams, signing groundbreaking deals, and promising to lead the next wave of automotive innovation, only to watch it all unravel in a matter of months. That is exactly the gut-wrenching reality facing Nissan, the Japanese auto giant that once stood at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution. Today, Nissan's plans for a dazzling all-electric lineup built right in America are crashing headlong into an avalanche of unexpected setbacks. Delayed launches, massive layoffs, and a political earthquake that has sent shockwaves through the entire auto industry. How did things go so wrong so quickly? And can this storied automaker claw its way back from the brink? Or is Nissan destined to become a cautionary tale in the electric age? Let's rewind the clock for a moment. At the dawn of the 21st century, Nissan was considered an electric trailblazer. Long before Tesla became a household name, Nissan launched the original Leaf, a compact electric car that won fans for its practicality and forward-thinking design. In those early days, skeptics laughed at the idea of a mainstream EV. Yet Nissan pressed on, betting that one day, the world would demand cleaner, more efficient vehicles. Fast forward to the present, and Nissan's ambitions are more audacious than ever before. The company mapped out a sweeping transformation. The Canton assembly plant in Mississippi was to be reimagined as the flagship of Nissan's electric future. The plan? To roll out not one, not two, but 5 cutting-edge electric vehicles, each powered by the next generation of all-solid-state batteries. A technology that promises to shatter the limits of today's lithium-ion cells. These new batteries are heralded for potentially offering faster charging times, increased range, and superior safety, all at a lower cost to the consumer. To fuel this transformation, Nissan struck a landmark agreement with SK On, a leading battery supplier. The deal calls for nearly 100 gigawatt-hours of high-nickel batteries to be delivered between fiscal year 2028 and fiscal year 2033. This partnership was designed to anchor Nissan's American production, ensuring a stable supply chain in a world increasingly rocked by geopolitical tensions and rare earth material restrictions. But that's not all. Nissan also pursued partnerships with global manufacturing giants like Foxconn, aiming to boost production flexibility and tap into advanced automation. The vision was bold, to create a network of highly efficient, intelligent factories, what Nissan dubbed the Nissan Intelligent Factory Initiative, where robots and human workers would collaborate to build vehicles with unprecedented precision and speed. At the helm of this transformation stood Ivan Espinosa, Nissan's newly appointed CEO. Espinosa was brought in to steer the company out of a deepening financial crisis, with losses exceeding £4 billion over recent years. Under his leadership, Nissan announced the Ambition 2030 plan, a sweeping strategy to reclaim its place among the world's leading automakers. The blueprint called for a new generation of affordable and desirable electric crossovers, designed specifically for American tastes, built in state-of-the-art factories, and supported by a revitalized and increasingly tech-savvy workforce. Yet, in the first months of 2025, the mood in Nissan's American plants shifted dramatically. Instead of buzz and excitement, workers at both the Canton facility in Mississippi and the Smyrna plant in Tennessee faced a sobering reality. Voluntary buyouts were being offered in an effort to trim the workforce, a clear signal that the path forward would be far rockier than anticipated. For many employees who had pinned their hopes on being part of a high-tech transformation, the news was nothing short of devastating. Layoffs and buyouts are always painful, but they cut especially deep when tied to dreams of a new, electrified future. Industry analysts were quick to point out that Nissan's troubles were not isolated. The company reported a year-over-year drop of 7.9% in global sales in 2024, a stark indicator that the challenges ran deeper than just one market or one product line. Behind these numbers lies a web of shifting consumer preferences, supply chain disruptions, and, crucially, a seismic shift in American policy on electric vehicles. The real turning point arrived on Independence Day, when the Trump administration signed into law what pundits have dubbed the Big Beautiful Bill. In a single stroke, this legislation eliminated the $7,500 federal tax credit for new electric vehicles, as well as the $4,500 credit for used EVs. For years, these incentives had formed the backbone of American EV adoption, making electric cars more affordable for millions of buyers. With the stroke of a pen, that support vanished overnight. The impact on Nissan was immediate and severe. Production timelines for 2 of the company's most anticipated electric crossovers, both slated for the Canton plant, were abruptly pushed back by nearly a full year. The first model, known internally as PZ1K and inspired by the rugged Xterra of years past, will not debut until November of 2028. Conveniently, that launch date aligns with the next American presidential election, a fact that has not gone unnoticed by industry observers. The Infiniti-branded variant, aimed at the premium market, is now slated for release in early 2029, roughly 4 months after its Nissan sibling. Officially, Nissan spokespeople have characterized the delays as minor adjustments. Kyle Bazemore, a company spokesman, explained, "We have made the strategic decision to slightly adjust the production timeline for our EVs at the Canton plant." Another representative added, "This approach ensures more efficient operations at the plants under current market conditions." But behind these carefully chosen words lies a far deeper anxiety. Shareholders, already shaken by years of mounting losses, are demanding answers and accountability. Meanwhile, competitors, both legacy automakers and ambitious upstarts, are scrambling to fill the gap left by Nissan's delays, eager to win over American consumers whose appetite for EVs is now more uncertain than ever. Automotive News reports that waning demand for electric vehicles in the United States is compounding Nissan's woes. The softening market is not limited to Nissan alone. Across the industry, automakers are grappling with shifting consumer sentiment. Some point to high sticker prices, a lack of charging infrastructure, and lingering concerns about battery life as barriers to widespread adoption. Others cite the abrupt withdrawal of tax credits as the final straw for many would-be buyers. Whatever the cause, the result is clear. The once unstoppable momentum behind EVs in America has slowed, if not stalled altogether. The stakes for Nissan could hardly be higher. The company's future now hinges on a series of high-risk bets. That all solid-state battery technology will deliver on its lofty promises. That partnerships and mergers can supply both the capital and expertise needed to weather the storm. And that a pivot to hybrid technology, if necessary, can keep the assembly lines humming until the next technological breakthrough arrives. Let's take a closer look at these possibilities. The first, and perhaps most ambitious scenario, involves Nissan successfully becoming the world's first mainstream automaker to mass-produce cars equipped with all solid-state batteries. These batteries, long considered the holy grail of energy storage, offer the tantalizing prospect of faster charging, longer range, and greater safety than anything currently available. Nissan's timeline calls for these batteries to debut in fiscal year 2028, just as the company's new EVs are set to roll out of the Canton plant. If Nissan can deliver on this promise, it would leapfrog competitors who are still relying on older lithium-ion technology, potentially securing a decisive advantage in the global EV race. But the road to all solid-state batteries is anything but smooth. Developing, testing, and scaling up this technology requires massive investment, not just in research and development, but also in retooling factories, training workers, and building out new supply chains. To that end, Nissan has reportedly been quietly collaborating with top universities and research institutes, recruiting some of the brightest minds in materials science to solve the complex challenges involved. These efforts remain largely under wraps, but industry insiders suggest that if Nissan's innovations succeed, they could reset the entire automotive landscape. A second scenario centers on strategic partnerships and potential mergers. Rumors have swirled for months about talks between Nissan and Honda, another Japanese titan with deep engineering expertise and a global footprint. In theory, a merger could provide both companies with fresh capital, shared technology, and access to new markets. Honda, for its part, has been slower to embrace full electrification, focusing instead on hybrid systems and fuel cell vehicles. By teaming up, the two automakers could pool resources, spread risk, and accelerate their transition to an electric future. But mergers are never easy. Cultural clashes, management turf wars, and conflicting priorities can derail even the most promising alliances. Shareholders, already wary after years of red ink, are watching closely and demanding tangible results, not just talk. There's also a third, more pragmatic path. Pivoting, at least temporarily, to hybrid technology. Across the globe, demand for plug-in hybrids and extended-range electric vehicles is surging, especially in markets like China and Europe, where government policy is less volatile. Plug-in hybrids offer a bridge between the internal combustion past and the electric future, easing consumer anxiety about range and charging infrastructure. Nissan has already signaled its willingness to experiment, exploring hybrid truck and crossover models for the North American market. By embracing this approach, the company can maintain sales and retain market share while waiting for the next big shift in consumer preferences, or for government incentives to return. Yet, the challenges do not end there. Internationally, Nissan faces increasing pressure to adapt to a rapidly changing competitive landscape. Negotiations with Foxconn over the future of Nissan's Oppama plant in Japan are ongoing, with the possibility of joint EV production looming large. Such partnerships could help mitigate the risk of plant closures and job losses, while also tapping into Foxconn's expertise in high-volume, cost-effective manufacturing. At the same time, Nissan's new battery supply agreement with SK On reflects a strategic move to diversify its supply chain and reduce dependence on any single region or supplier. Within the United States, the transformation of the Canton plant into a so-called Nissan Intelligent Factory is perhaps the clearest signal of the company's commitment to innovation. This initiative is not just about robots and automation. It's about reimagining the entire manufacturing process, from supply chain management to quality control to employee training. The goal is to build vehicles that are not only more advanced, but also more reliable, customizable, and environmentally friendly. If successful, the Canton plant could become a model for the rest of the industry, a beacon of what is possible when technology and human ingenuity work hand in hand. But what does all this mean for consumers, investors, and the broader auto industry? The lessons are both sobering and instructive. For consumers, Nissan's roller coaster ride is a stark reminder that the auto industry is deeply intertwined with politics, global supply chains, and rapidly shifting regulations. Today's incentives and tax credits can vanish overnight, instantly changing the calculus of what is affordable or even available. If you are thinking about buying an electric vehicle in the next few years, flexibility is critical. Stay informed, watch the news, monitor policy changes, and do not assume that your preferred model will be available when you are ready to buy. It is wise to have a backup plan and to consider not just the sticker price, but also the long-term costs and benefits of ownership. For investors and industry watchers, Nissan's saga offers a masterclass in disruption, resilience, and the harsh realities of global competition. The winners in the coming electric vehicle shakeout will be those companies that can adapt quickly, whether by embracing new technology, forming smarter partnerships, or showing the courage to pivot when market conditions change. It is no longer enough to simply make good cars. Automakers must now navigate a world where the rules can shift overnight, where consumer preferences are fickle, and where new competitors can emerge from unexpected quarters. As one industry analyst put it, it's not just about building cars anymore. It's about surviving in a world where the playbook is being rewritten in real time. The broader implications for the American electric vehicle industry are profound. The sudden withdrawal of federal tax credits has sent a chill through the market, prompting companies large and small to rethink their strategies. Some may double down on research and development, hoping to achieve a breakthrough that will reignite consumer interest. Others may seek out mergers or alliances, pooling resources to weather the storm. Still others may retreat from the market altogether, focusing on more stable or profitable regions. For policymakers, the lesson is clear. Stable, predictable incentives are critical to fostering innovation and driving adoption. Abrupt policy shifts can have far-reaching consequences, not just for automakers, but for workers, consumers, and the broader economy. Looking back, it is worth remembering that Nissan has a history of defying the odds. The company took a leap of faith with the original Leaf, pushing forward when most rivals dismissed electric vehicles as a passing fad. That spirit of innovation and risk-taking remains alive, even in the face of today's daunting challenges. If Nissan can deliver on its promises, if its all-solid-state batteries prove reliable and affordable, if its partnerships bear fruit, if its factories can adapt to the new reality, then the company may not just survive, but lead the next chapter of electric mobility. There's also a fascinating, little-known aspect to Nissan's current efforts. Behind the scenes, the company is rumored to be working closely with leading universities and research institutions, quietly recruiting top talent in materials, science, and battery engineering. These collaborations are focused on pushing the boundaries of what is possible with all-solid-state batteries, solving problems that have stymied the industry for decades. If Nissan's research teams succeed, it could trigger a technological revolution, resetting the competitive landscape not just for Nissan, but for the entire global auto industry. For now, however, the race is far from over. The coming years will be a test of endurance, ingenuity, and adaptability. Nissan's fate, and, by extension, the future of American electric vehicles, hangs in the balance. Will Nissan remain a leader in innovation, or will it be overtaken by faster, more nimble competitors? Only time will tell. As we watch this story unfold, one thing is certain. The world of electric vehicles is evolving at an unprecedented pace. For anyone interested in the intersection of global economics, technology, and policy, Nissan's journey offers a front-row seat to the challenges and opportunities of a rapidly changing world. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand the forces shaping the future of mobility, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We will be here, breaking down the latest developments, offering fresh insights,